Hello and a warm welcome to World This Week by Latest Laws. This is a weekly program, so hit the bell icon to get notifications for new videos. My name is Vasvi Bhatia and let's begin with Supreme Court this week.
The Apex Court issued notice to Respondent Centre and others on Malayalam news channel Media One's plea challenging the Kerala High Court order which upheld the order of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting to revoke the license of the news channel. Will be heard. The Apex Court extended the interim protection from arrest granted to former Mumbai Police Commissioner Param Singh in a case related to the allegations of misconduct and corruption. The Supreme Court has reiterated that evidence of witnesses cannot be discarded as unreliable merely because they were the relatives of the deceased victim. The bench noted that witnesses cannot be termed as planted plainly because they were all interested witnesses, being relatives of the deceased. Next, we have the Delhi High Court. The Chief Justice of Delhi High Court and exercise of powers under Article 229 of the Constitution has amended remuneration segment of law researchers. As per the new amendment, the LRs will be entitled to a fixed monthly honorarium of Rs 65,000, which shall be subject to revision from time to time. No other allowance or perk shall be given. Next, we have the HIMACHAL Pradesh High Court. The Himachal Pradesh High Court has held right of equal pay for equal work is an absolute right, the provision of which envisaged under Article 39D of the Constitution can be legally enforced. Next, we have the Allahabad High Court. The Allahabad High Court has held that it is settled position of law that evidence of a public officer cannot be thrown away on the ground that he is from the police department. The single-judge bench, while dealing a bail plea, rejected the argument that the arresting officials didn't comply with the mandatory provisions of search and seizure under the NDPS Act. The Allahabad High Court has made an important observation and advised courts to refrain from entertaining time-barred cases unless delay is properly explained, as the rights accrued to the others cannot be allowed to be distributed. The Allahabad High Court has observed that the magistrate is duty-bound to ensure that an impartial and fair investigation is carried out after it passes order for the same under Section 156, subsection 3 of CrPC. Next, we have the Punjab and Haryana High Court. The Punjab and Haryana High Court has withdrew its order issued in April 2021, extending the life of interim orders pertaining to the functioning of courts, orders of eviction, disposition, demolition, so far unexecuted, etc., in view of the improvements in COVID situation in the state. The Punjab and Haryana High Court Bar Association has asked Punjab and Haryana High Court Chief Justice that a lawyer with less than 15 years of continuous regular practice before this High Court may not be considered for elevation as a judge. Next, we have Karnataka High Court. The Karnataka High Court, while passing an order of temporary injunction against unknown persons, noted that injunction cannot be denied if circumstances are such that there is a serious threat to the possession of the plaintiff by unknown persons. Next, we have the Rajasthan High Court. The Rajasthan High Court has observed that to invoke PIL jurisdiction, providing thorough research data and having complete knowledge of facts are duty of the petitioner. Next, we have the Bombay High Court. The Bombay High Court has observed that proceedings for criminal offences aren't akin to matrimonial disputes and transfer cannot be done by wife's convenience. The single-judge bench, while dealing with an application filed under Section 407 CrPC for transfer of trial for offences under 498A IPC, noted that although the law prioritizes the convenience of the wife while dealing with matrimonial disputes, criminal case cannot be equated with matrimonial proceedings. Next, we have Telangana High Court. The High Court of Telangana issued notices to the Assembly Legislature Secretary and the State Law Secretary asking them to convey their stand on a petition filed by 3 suspended BJP MLAs, M. Raghunand Rao, Etala Rajendra and T. Raja Singh. The 3 legislators challenged their suspension from the Assembly for the rest of the budget session, allowing notices to be served through a special messenger or through the petitioners themselves within 24 hours. Justice Shameen Akhtar posted to the case of Thursday for further hearing. The judge declined to summon the Assembly proceedings, copy pertaining to the suspension of the 3 legislators. Next, we have the Calcutta High Court. The High Court of Calcutta ordered the Visva Bharati authorities to break open the padlocks and open up hostel rooms without delay, telling Vice Chancellor Bidyut Chakrabarti that he should handle matters of administration deftly and not crib and complain at every opportunity. Next, we have miscellaneous news. The Odisha Advocate General has urged the government of Odisha to establish special courts to resolve several cases pending under the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act in different courts of the state. The National Green Tribunal has imposed a hefty fine of Rs 25 crores as environmental compensation on two companies, bottler manufacturer products namely Coca-Cola and PepsiCo, known as Moon Beverages and Varun Beverages, for exploiting underground water for bottling plants in Uttar Pradesh. Finally, we have the international news. Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte has signed into law a bill that raises the minimum age of sexual consent from 12 to 16 in a bid to protect minors from rape and sexual abuse. The Philippines, until now, has had one of the world's lowest minimum ages of sexual consent, behind Nigeria's age of 11, according to the United Nations Children Fund. Global news media said they were suspending reporting in Russia to protect their journalists after a news law that threatened jail terms up to 15 years for spreading fake news. Thank you and have a nice day. This is a weekly program. To get more information, check the description box, and to get weekly updates, like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.